Creepers left to rise, buzz like crazy. Everybody's trying to steal my lady. Spiders in the mirror and things can't be right. Back to the scene of a Friday night, to a blessed collision, still frozen tight. Spirit drinkers, Cupid and the sound of her first chime. And why did you argue? We're dreaming of those eyes, the best part of my life. And when we make love, babe, don't make a sound.
Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the start of the Love in the Night reading vlog. So this week is another paranormal romance readathon, and so I'm doing a weekly vlog, and it's a little bit different than my daily vlogs. I'm still gonna put drinks in here, of course. Like, here we are. I got my diet soda drink right here, ready to go. But yeah, we're gonna be reading some more paranormal romance books. I am a little bit late to start this one. I'm finishing up a few buddy reads that I have, and I'm finishing up the book that I have for the Rake Appreciation Society book club. And I'm still finishing Ravensong and Wolf Gone Wild. Those books are a priority for me, but I definitely am going to, after I read those, I'm going to devote my time to mostly reading novellas. So I'm going to read the group book, The Barista and the Bear, and the Talia Hibbert one, Mating the Huntress, and then I think I'm going to read Sanctuary too. Those are my priorities. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I just got done filming some YouTube videos for the week. I film 2 or 3 videos once a week, and then I post them as the week. I try to post videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, except for when I'm daily vlogging, and then you get to hear from me every day. I know I'm in like a weird position. This is not how you're used to seeing me for my vlogs, is it? So anyway, that is what's happening. I am going to update you once I have made some more progress.
Too many days in the darkness without a glimpse of the light. Running tired and broken and scared, but I swear I'll never give up the fight. I see you broken and beat, head pulled down over your eyes. Every part of you wants to surrender, darling, you were meant to survive. With every star, we are born again. Open your heart, spend this time in your head.
Well, I am currently writing my notes for the live show for my historical romance book club that I do with Jen from the Book Refuge. This month's book was All Scott and Bothered. It's the first one. I'm super excited about it. This is my desk where I do all of my administration work for my business and shipping. And then, guess who's gonna get a haircut today? Guess who's gonna get a haircut today? Sit. Can you sit? Good boy. Say, this is my Fluffy before. And then we'll show you the after. He always tries to get too close, so I can't even get him. Cosmo, come here. Come here. Do you get a haircut? Sit. Oh, look at you, so handsome. Hey, is your food up there? You know why I put it up there? because you spilled it. Hello, my friends. So I finally finished my first book for the Love in the Night readathon. It was a novella. It was a very short one. It was Sanctuary by Alexandria House. And I did not like this. This was not for me. This book fell into the trap of the novella just not being developed enough for me. Like, I don't feel like I should have to go into a novella feeling like it's not going to be a developed story. And I just feel like this was not a developed story. So this is basically about Samson and Temple, and they were high school sweethearts. They had, you know, like they loved each other in high school, and then they have one first last night together, which is prom, and then Samson leaves and Temple's heart is broken. Anyway, their life goes on. 20 years later, Samson comes looking for Temple to try and win her back, and there's it's a really cool paranormal element to this. Like, I really loved that part. I felt like that was such a cool concept, and I don't really want to tell you what it is because it's not on the blurb anywhere, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's a really cool paranormal element. But I just didn't believe their love at all, and the whole story just hinges on this ultimate soulmate type of love, and I just wasn't feeling it. And I feel like part of that is probably because they did have that first love in high school, and you only get like a teeny tiny bit of that, but then you're supposed to believe that they're like made to be together, and I just didn't like it. The characterization fell flat. I felt like the plot was really non-existent, and I understand like novellas, they're not going to have a really grand vast plot, right? Kazi is eating, if that's what you're hearing, and I have to hold his food bowl or he'll knock it over. So he's right down there. But I don't know, it just wasn't for me. Like, I guess I don't really know what expectations I had going into this other than, like, I have read novellas that do have a really complete story arc and really excellent characterization, and so I feel like I wanted that and I just didn't get it. It just didn't get it. It was pretty steamy, but I'm just sort of like, why do I care about that? There also was, so I gave this 2 stars, and there was also very briefly mentioned attempted suicide in there, and it was just sort of thrown in there and it was never talked about again, and that is one of those things that I feel like you just cannot throw that in. You know, like, I feel like we all have our triggers, and that is something that I feel like needs to be handled so carefully, and I just hate that it was just thrown in there because it literally made no impact on the story, and it was almost just a sentence. It was just a paragraph maybe, and then that was it. And so that honestly really bothered me a lot. So I knew as soon as I read that this was, I don't want to rail on it too much because I know a lot of people who love this. Some of my friends really love this, but it was a no for me. I just didn't care for it. So that's this. Oh man, this readathon is not going so well. I still have Ravensong that I haven't finished. Like, part of the reason I haven't done well with this readathon is because I had some other obligations that I needed to get done right away. Like, I had an arc I had to finish. I had some buddy reads I needed to finish. I had to read a book for my historical romance book club, which I started with Jen from the Book Refuge. So that was honestly one of my favorite books that I've read in a long time. So I had those other things that I needed to do, and so I haven't picked up Ravensong since then. And then I wanted to just feel like I had finished something for the readathon, so I picked up Sanctuary because I knew it was pretty short, and yeah, it was disappointing for me. I don't know that I'll read from this author again. If this is how she writes in general, I probably am gonna skip her in the future. This was the first book I'd read from her, but it just wasn't for me. I need character development overall. I need character development and relationship building. That's what I need to enjoy a book, and I just didn't really get that. But that's all. I also am reading a novella with Dana and Kelly for Novella November that I am including in, it wasn't on my TBR, but I am going to include it for this readathon because it will fill the LGBTQ prompt, and I am using it for the shifter prompt because it is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's called Briarly. I am really loving this so much. I'm almost done with it. So close to being done with it. This is a really interesting look at a Beauty and the Beast retelling. It's a male Beauty and the Beast retelling, and it also is set during World War II. And it's just, honestly, it's really beautiful and really well done. This is I feel like this is maybe a longer novella than, it's definitely longer than Sanctuary was. And so you do have that time to build up the characters and lay in some real great emotion in there. And like, again, like the plot in Briarly is not, like, it's not groundbreaking. It's the Beauty and the Beast plot that we all know. Like, love has to break the curse. So it's a slow moving plot. And again, like, I don't necessarily need a fast moving plot. I do need characterization and relationship building. So that is what I am reading. We have the live show tonight for Love in the Night. And then I think we have tomorrow, and then we're done. So I'm not sure what else. I definitely want to read Mating the Huntress. That's probably what I'm going to pick up next. And for sure going to go back to Ravensong. I don't know that I really want to finish Ravensong for this vlog, so we'll see what happens. I don't know. Anyway, I haven't done my daily tea tasting with you guys because I haven't been, you know, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't done that. I'm making excuses. But I have tea here today, so this is an interesting one. So, I had one packet of raspberry zinger, and I had another wild hibiscus raspberry tea, so I mixed those two in here. And then I thought, I'm gonna add some vanilla in there, like some vanilla syrup. So I grabbed the vanilla bottle, and I put it in there, and I'm like, this is gonna be so good. And then I looked at the bottle, and I realized I added coconut. So this is wild hibiscus raspberry coconut, apparently. I have no idea what it tastes like. So we gonna taste it right now. It definitely smells coconutty. Oh, oh. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be good. Cosmo is really interested in it. I don't know. I mean, I don't hate it. It's like, I can't tell if it's the coconut. Like, I can't really taste the coconut much at all. But I can't tell if it's that or that I mixed two teas that maybe shouldn't have been mixed together. Like, did you guys ever play, like, Pretend Chef when you were a kid and you mixed, like, your mom let you mix a bunch of stuff in your kitchen and you pretended that you were on a cooking show and you made, like, a recipe? I sort of feel like that's what I've done here. I just mixed a bunch of stuff together, so. Anyway, that's what's happening now. I will update you once I've read some more. Hello, my friends. I have another reading update for you. I just barely finished Briarly. So this is The Beast, and if, like, Maurice had stayed instead of Belle. And I loved it. I loved this little book. It was, honestly, it was filled with, like, so much hope and just love, and I really loved the message of, like, I hate to say it like a book had a message, but I feel like this little book was really powerful, and it just had a lot to say about, like, what love really is. Like, there's this whole theme in the book about, like, the enchantress and the parson. He's a parson who is Maurice, the Maurice character, and so he is the one who ends up finding the Beast and stays to help him, and he keeps trying to figure out what type of love the enchantress was talking about when she made this spell. And so, like, he goes through things of thinking, well, we'll get, because, like, so it's been like 100 years and all these young women have come and none of them have managed to break the spell. The dragon, or Briarly, had never fallen in love with them and they never fall in love with him, and so the parson thinks, well, maybe, you know, what if we had a little puppy? So he brings a puppy, like a dog, and tries to have that type of love break the spell, and he finally starts to realize that maybe it's because he doesn't like women, and it was just, so the whole thing is, like, talking about the different types of love and how they could be accepted or could they not, and it was, honestly, it was just a really powerful and beautiful and lovely little story, and I highly recommend it. Like, it was really, I read it as part of the Novella November too, but I'm counting it for this readathon because it is an LGBTQ title, and I'm including it as shifter because the beast is a beast to man, so it counts. But it was just so good. We had some really great discussion in the group too, which of course has left my brain. I don't really know that I want to, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of things you could say about it, but the way it made me feel was just so hopeful and so happy, and I thought it was a very unique take on Beauty and the Beast, and it was a really quick one. So if you are at all interested in that type of thing, please check this out because it was honestly just fantastic. I give that 5 stars. I loved it. I loved it so much. So that's only one of 2 novellas that I've ever rated 5 stars. It was beautiful. Like the romance in that is very, 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 very minimal, but it's also just such a moving love story that I loved it. It was fantastic. So I feel so accomplished. I have finished 2 books, and granted they were novellas, but still, I think that's pretty good because it's Friday night. I feel like I finally hit my reading stride yesterday with the Love in the Night readathon. So now I have one more day, and I'm not sure what I want to read. So I still haven't finished Ravensong, and I want to read that, but I also feel like I don't know if I'll finish it, and I really want to finish a book. So I could either read Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert, which is another novella that I really want to read, or I could finish Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross, which is another wolf shifter book that I also really want to read, and I've already started that, so I think that's probably what I'm going to go with, because that will also check off Read a Host favorite, because that's Steph's favorite from Novelty Corner. So that's probably what I'm going to read next, and I really want to finish it. I know I can do it. I admit I have been a little slumpy this week, which is interesting because I just posted a video about how to get out of a reading slump. Granted, I filmed that a few weeks ago, but the irony is not lost on me. So yeah, so those are my reading plans. I just wanted to share with you how much I loved Briarly. It was just such a beautiful, hopeful little story, and I just loved it so much. It also takes place a little bit on Halloween, so I feel like that one would have been a really great one to read on Halloween or during Halloween, so it's perfect for this time. It was just great. So yeah, that's all that's happening. I'm going to go cook dinner for my family. We just finished live reading sprints on Izzy's channel. That's how I finished Briarly. And honestly, I finished it with a minute to spare, and I kind of just wanted to shout to everybody about how much I loved it because it was so good. I loved it so much. So I'll see you guys later. Goodbye. Well, I just finished another novella. I finished the group book, The Barista and the Bear. It was very, very cute. It was very fun. This is just a very short novella about Teresa, who is a barista, and this bear shifter who she kind of meets all of a sudden, who says that he is her mate. It was very short. It was very sweet. It was very fun. It was honestly pretty funny too. I thought it was super cute and just a really happy, lighthearted, fun, sweet little love story, and I gave this 3 stars. I actually kind of forgot about this, and then I remembered we just had our live show for the readathon. It's kind of officially over. I'm going to keep reading tonight and see if I can finish Wolf Gone Wild, and then I'll come back with a final update on my week. But the live show was super fun. I have loved all of these hosts. I have all of them linked down below. They're just amazing, and I feel like we've really gotten to be good friends, and I just loved it so much. So yeah, that's all that has happened reading-wise today, and I will be back for one last check-in to let you know my final reading update. Well, my friends, it is the end. It is the end of another readathon. The last Paranormal Romance readathon, the Love in the Night readathon, it is over. Actually, it was over yesterday, but I had not finished my book that I really wanted to finish and include in this vlog, so I extended it to Sunday. So I just barely finished my last book for the readathon, and it is Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. And hey, this is my drink. Kazi, you want to steal my drink? It's not time for the drink yet. We'll get to the drink in a minute. It was Wolf Gone Wild by Juliet Cross. This actually was on my TBR, and I started it during the first Paranormal Romance readathon, but I got so consumed with Wolfsong that I just didn't finish it, even though I really, really enjoyed it. I just wanted to finish Wolfsong and got swept away with those babies. I did not finish Ravensong. I actually didn't even pick it up this week. I wanted to, I just didn't think I was going to finish it, and I wanted to focus on books that I knew I'd be able to finish. So let me tell you about Wolf Gone Wild. So this is very much, this is paranormal romance, obviously. It's about a wolf shifter who has like a hex on him so that he can't shift into a wolf. His wolf is like trapped inside him, so he kind of has like that dual personality of his alpha wolf, his name is Mateo, with his human person, and so that's a really fun dynamic because we get to hear from Alpha, who's very alpha, kind of snarky, a little bit misogynistic, but he's 100% enjoyable. And so Mateo goes to find a witch to break the hex, and he meets Evie, and she's in this coven of witch sisters who, it's set in New Orleans too, who like do witchy stuff. I don't know. I'm bad at explaining this. Anyway, so she starts to help him to try and break this curse, and Mateo realizes that whenever Evie's around, his alpha wolf is very quiet and like dormant, and so he asks Evie if she can hang out with him for a few hours a day, and they fall in love. There's a fated mates concept. It has a mystery that's really fun and engaging, so you don't find that out until the very end. And this was just honestly completely delightful. I gave this 5 stars. I loved reading it. I couldn't put it down like unless I absolutely had to. It was just so good. I just loved the way that Juliet Cross wrote about the romance in here specifically. I really loved how Mateo was so focused on Evie, not just for how like he found her sexy, but also for how like cute he thought she was, and little things that she did that were just endearing to him, that were just so sweet and romantic. You get both points of view from Mateo and Evie, and I loved that so much. The banter in this was fantastic. This has top tier banter. This reads like a contemporary romance with a paranormal twist. It honestly reminds me of an adult version of Jennifer L. Armentrout, but like times 100. Like I feel like, so if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, like I still am a huge fan of Jennifer L. Armentrout, although I have been slightly disappointed in her most recent books, but I still love her. And I feel like Juliet Cross in this book took that, everything that I loved about Jennifer L. Armentrout, like the urban setting, modern day setting mixed with paranormal fantasy type elements, and have a really fantastic romance in it. But I feel like, whereas I liked a lot of that in Jennifer L. Armentrout's, I freaking loved how Juliet Cross did it. This is going to be one of my favorite books of the year. Like it had everything that, and I don't want to like drag another author at all, but it had the things I love about Jennifer L. Armentrout, but times like 100, because they were just so well done in this book. Like it was just everything that I wanted. Like this was fantastic. This was a fantastic book. I know this was on the host favorite prompt. Steph from Novelty Corner loves this series, and honestly, I love this series. I could definitely see this being a comfort read, a book that I would reread over and over. It's just so good. Juliet Cross is so good at capturing that feeling of the first date and like that mutual crush type of feeling where you both are like super into each other, but you don't really know if the other person is, and it's so fun, and I just really loved it. Like every single little glance and every gesture is like charged and loaded, and it just like, she gives just enough attention on that to make you feel it too, and it just was so good. So good. I just loved it. I don't even want to be critical about anything about it because it was just so much fun. I loved it. 5 out of 5 stars. My favorite read for the whole week. It was fantastic. This one, Wolf Gone Wild and Wolfsong, have been standouts for me in this readathon and the last one. They were just fantastic. This was amazing. So let's talk about the other books that I read. So another book that I read was Sanctuary by Alexandria House. I talked about this extensively. I gave this 2 out of 5 stars. This was pretty disappointing for me. I honestly really didn't care for this much at all. Just wasn't for me. I just didn't feel like there was enough character or emotional development, and I just wasn't really into it at all. So 2 out of 5 stars on that one. I also read Briarly, which I dearly loved. Also gave that 5 out of 5 stars. That was really fantastic, and if I could recommend any of these novellas, I would highly recommend that. It was so good. Really, really good. And then I read Barista and the Bear, which was the group book, which I gave a 3 out of 5 stars. This was super, super cute, really fun. Didn't quite have what I wanted to get to a 4 or a 5 star, but overall it was very fun. Quick read. It was just a good time. It was a happy, fun, feel-good book. I really liked that one too. And then Wolf Gone Wild, 5 out of 5 stars. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Like, this was really such a good book. Like, I am really tempted to just dive right into Don't Hex and Drive, the sequel. I've already downloaded some of Juliet's books that were on Kindle Unlimited. And also, I am now going to go buy the paperback for Wolf Gone Wild because I loved it so much I must have a physical copy. It was so good, you guys. I loved it. It was so, so good. Excellent. So, I had a great time with this readathon. I read some wonderful books, and it was great. I got a lot done. So, for my last drink, I have made, this is a white chocolate pretzel. It's sort of like it's not really a protein hot chocolate. I don't even know how to describe this. It's like a hot chocolate with hardly any sugar, and it has some protein in it. It's kind of like a protein hot chocolate. I don't really know how else to describe it. It's just tasty, and it's just nice for white chocolate pretzel, peppermint, Christmassy stuff. It's just good. So, I've had this before. I haven't had it. This is the first one I've had this year because we put our tree up, and now I'm feeling very festive and very holiday season. So let's taste it. It does taste like Christmas in a cup. It's so good. It's so good, you guys. Yeah, I'm not sponsored or anything by them. I just buy their seasonal ones every year. This is a company made where I live, and I just really like it. It's tasty. So this is a fun drink. Let me know what your favorite Christmas drink is down below. That would be fun. And I guess that is all, my friends, for this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a little chaotic, but I had a really great time with this readathon. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.